Hi guys, this is Narendra, Microsoft Certified Trainer. Welcome back to our session. Today we'll talk about state management in ASP.NET. So this session is all about how to maintain state, how to clear your state, how to hold the state of your pages in ASP.NET web applications. So let's understand in detail how we can maintain state at client side and how we can maintain state at server side with the help of some documentation as well as with the help of some demo. So you may see in front of your screen there is a session agenda is given. So we'll talk about first what is state, and then after we're going to see what are state management techniques like client side techniques, server side techniques. In client side techniques we'll talk about something called as poster bag, we'll talk about something called as view state, then we'll talk about something called as cookies, then query string. In server side we'll talk about something called as session state, we'll talk about something called as application state. So this is our agenda of the session today. So let's begin with the session. So first of all, let's understand in general what is the meaning of state. So as we all know, browsers are generally stateless. Now the question arises here, what does stateless actually mean? So stateless means whenever we visit any website, our browser communicates with the respective server depending on our requested functionality or the request. So the browser communicates with the respective server using HTTP or HTTPS protocol. Let's take an example. Whenever you want to visit any kind of google.com homepage, so what you're going to do, you're going to open a web browser, you're going to type something called as google.com. So as soon as you hit enter, so your request will go to server will going to check whether that domain exists or not. If that domain exists, then you're going to get your requested web page in front of your screen, in front of your desktop or laptop, wherever you're going to access that particular website, right? So but after that response, after receiving response from your server, so what next, or what will happen when we visit the website again after closing our web browser? Let's imagine we have visited that google.com and we have browsed some kind of pages. Let's talk about, let's understand you wanted to open let's say flipkart.com with the help of google.com. So you open flipkart.com, then after opening flipkart.com, then what you are doing, you are just browsing some kind of items, then you are selecting some kind of items, and you are again browsing some different items, again you are selecting some kind of items. Now after some time you have closed your browser, again you have opened your web browser, again you are going to the flipkart.com. So after going back to the flipkart.com, whatever items you have browsed, you will not be able to get that items back, since your browsers are stateless. So they will not going to maintain by default state of a client. So whatever operations you are performing on the web page will not be by default traced. They are not maintained anywhere in any of the state as such by default. So now I guess you have at least an idea of what state and stateless actually mean. So our browsers are basically, they are generally stateless. They're not going to maintain any kind of state of your client. So in real time, whenever you visit any of the website, let's say amazon.com, let's say flipkart.com, after visiting that website and you are browsing some kind of items, and that items must be added to your cart, and at the end of your shopping you wanted to do checkout. So while doing checkout, you wanted to see what all items you have actually browsed and what all items you have added to your cart, and you want to finally confirm your order, and you want to finally pay the amount, and you want to come out of the website, right? So such kind of state tracking, by default your browser will not have that intelligence to maintain your state of your client operations on your browser. That's the reason Microsoft technology, in case of ASP.NET, we have a concept called as state management got introduced. So we can maintain state at client side, we can maintain state at server side. Okay, so let's begin with this session and let's understand in detail now what are the different types of techniques which are available at client side and which are available at server side. In case of client side techniques, first we'll talk about post bag. Now what do you mean by post bag? So whenever you visit any of the web page or website, after typing let's say some domain name in your address bar of your browser, you may get some response from your server, right? So you may see some kind of page. So that first page will get loaded. That page is called as fresh load. So after getting that home page of your google.com, you will type something in search box. Let's say you want to see some study material on ASP.NET. So in the search box you have entered a keyword called as ASP.NET state management, for example. So when you hit again enter there, or when you click on go button, what will going to happen, your request will go to again server will going to reload that entire page and will going to give you some different output with some set of links wherever it matches that keyword which you have entered ASP.NET state management. All those links will be displayed on your response page. So this round trip, so request actually gone to server and you got some response back from the server. So this round trip is called as what? Post back. So for the first time initially you're going to get fresh load of the page, then after whatever search or whatever hit you're going to do on that browser, it will going to generate some kind of post back operation. That is called as a round trip from client to server back to client. That is called as post back. So by default every page, every button which you click on the page, it's automatically doing post back operation. So in case of post back, so whatever data you have entered prior to submitting your page to server, that data will automatically get lost unless and until if you are not going to maintain the state. Now for example, let me take you all to one demo. You may see some output, some page which is nothing but calculating simple interest using ASP.NET. Some simple example I have created with the help of ASP.NET. I want to calculate ASP.NET. I want to calculate simple interest with the help of ASP.NET. Okay, so you may see over here that I've entered some principal amount, I've entered some rate of interest, I've entered some number of years. When I'm clicking on calculate button, you may see some kind of output which is got displayed here. Let me just go and change the input. Let me click on this calculate button again. So after clicking on this calculate button, you may see again some different output. So this is the source code which is available here. So when I'm going to run my application, okay, after entering some input, I'm going to change this input back to some another input. Let me just click on calculate again. You may see again some different output in response, right? It is not clearing all these boxes. You may see if it is your HTTP or HTML controls, I can say, instead of over here I'm using ASP.NET controls in this given example. Instead of using ASP.NET controls, if I'm going to use HTML controls, so HTML controls by default will going to lose your data as soon as you perform any post back operation. In this case, you know what I am doing, as soon as I'm clicking on this button, it is doing some post back operation. So you may see some result here, right? Now we'll do one thing, we're going to understand the concept of view state now. So why we require view state, let's understand with the help of one demonstration. So let's imagine within the same example, what I want to do, you know, I want to display the result on the another button. Right now what I'm doing, I'm entering some input and I'm clicking on the same button that is called as calculate SI. So this button is actually performing some kind of logic. At the same time it is actually giving me some kind of output. The logic which I have written over here is that the logic is very simple. I have just taken the inputs in some variables, then I am applying the logic, that is formula of your simple interest. Finally I am displaying that in alert as well as I am displaying in some label, but I am displaying and I am calculating in a single button click. So I wanted to do one small modification over here. Instead of displaying the result on the same button, let me do display result on the another button. So let me go down. Now you may see there is some code snippet over here. There is some button given here that is called as this button. So I'll just copy this button, I'll paste it here, and I'm going to put some kind of space here so that you may see these two buttons are separated. Okay, and I'm going to give some another color here. Instead of success, instead of green color, let me just say warning, some different color, and let me just say here BTN display as the ID of the button, and the text will be display SI. Okay, so in this case I'll just remove this event handler. Let me generate that event handler now again. Now you may see in this case I have first button that is called as calculate SI, which is simply doing calculation, and the second button I want to do simply display of this calculation. So I'll just come to design now. Now you may see there are two buttons now. Let me double click on display SI. It generates some kind of event handler. So let me do one thing. Let me split this code now. Let me bring this code of calculation is here, and display will be separately done in case of display button click. Now let me see, as soon as we have moved the code from button 1 that is calculate SI to BTN display button, what was happening? See what is happening here. See, you may see that it is giving some kind of error for SI result. You know why this error is coming? Why? Because this SI result is actually declared locally here. That's why I'm getting an error called as does not exist in the current context. So let me do one thing. Let me just declare this variable outside this function so that it will going to become instance variable. So instance variable will be accessible by default anywhere within the class or within any of the function, right? So let me just do this modification. I have done my modification now. So simply I am just doing calculation over here, and simply I am displaying the result in another button click. So let me just build this solution once again, and let me run this application so that we're going to see the changes whatever we did it now. Okay, in action. So it is saving now. It is taking some time to compile. So once it gets compiled, then we can simply run. It's completed now. Now we're going to just go back to the browser. We'll simply just refresh, and let me just do one thing. Let me just enter the values again. Let me just put here now 2 as rate of interest. Let me just put calculation is done. Now let me click on display here. I'm not getting the result over here. Why? Why it is not displaying the result as 400 the way we got earlier? Why I'm getting the result as 0? I simply moved my code of display from button BTN calculate SI to BTN display. Just by doing this small split, I'm not able to see the output. Let me do one thing. Let me again bring this code back to this button. Okay, and let me comment this code snippet, and let me build it again my solution, and let me show you after this modification how it behaves now. Okay, so build is succeeded. Let me just build it again now. Okay, it is still building now. Let's wait for some time. There's so many things are running in my system, that's why it is becoming a little slow. It's almost like server now, I can say. So let's try. Okay, still it is building. Let's wait now. Yeah, so succeeded. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back and let's refresh this page. So it is a fresh load now this time. Okay, it's a fresh load. Now let me put some values here. When I click on this button, it will do post back operation, right? Now you may see the page got refreshed, entire page got reloaded, and I got the result back. But when I'm displaying this result in another button, over here it is not working. Why? Because by default, whenever you perform post back, between the post back operation, whatever calculation has been done will be automatically lost, because entire page is actually getting reloaded. So when you perform post back, so entire page is actually getting reloaded, and that is the reason, because whatever calculation you have done, it's automatically got lost. So entire variables of your class, again they got reinitialized to 0. Since it is a instance variable, it's got reinitialized to 0. Now how we can overcome this problem? And that's the reason we have a concept called as view state. So what view state will do? View state stores data per page, stores data per page, where it gets stored in a view state variable that is called as hidden variable. So let's implement this view state and let's see how it behaves now. Okay, so let me do one thing. This line I'll just put it in view state object. View state takes key value pair kind of syntax. So I'm creating a key name as SI result. It can be any user friendly name. So right now I'm using same name. So within this view state variable, I'm holding the result. Now I can get this value from the view state back in the second button click. So instead of putting like this or like this, I just again I have to use this view state SI result here. So it's like a key value pair. Over here it is got stored the result, and over here I'm retrieving the result back with the same key. So let me again build this application and let me show you the changes now. So this time our hit works now. Whether it works or not, or whether it works like as usual, earlier it was not working. In case of post back, I was not able to see the result. On a display button click, I was able to see result as 0. But after this modification, let's see whether it works as expected or not. So let me just reload entire page now from the beginning. I'm doing a fresh reload. So let me enter some kind of values here, and let me just click on calculate. It is calculated. You might have seen it's got reloaded. Let me show you here again. Can you see it's reloaded? Let me click on display. Now you should be able to see the result. Yes, it is working. So have you understood what do you mean by view state? And view state, we're going to hold the result inside the hidden variable. Now what is the problem with view state? Now when I'm going to close this browser, again when I'm going to open this browser, so will that whatever I have stored, that result, whatever I have stored in that variable that is called as SA result, will I going to get that result back or not? Or if you move from one page to another page, automatically data will be lost. Let me click on display now. Now you may see it is doing some kind of validation, but if after filling some kind of data, okay, it will going to work as per your input. Now you may see it is showing null, empty, because as soon as you have closed your browser, again you have reloaded, so it is a fresh load again. So view state is able to maintain the state of your client between your post back operations. So first post back is this, and second post back is this. That's why you're able to see the result now. So if I want this result on another page, let's imagine I am moving from this page to another page. Instead of displaying result on the same page, let me display result on the another page. So in that case, whether this view state will going to work or not, let's see that now. Okay, so let's go back to your application, and let's add one more button now here. Okay, so simply I'm doing one small modification here. Let me copy this same button, whatever we have added, that is display. Okay, so these two lines I'll copy, I'll just paste it again, and this time I'll make a small modification over here. So in this case, we're going to see btn let me just say here, instead of display on a same page, I'll display on new page. Okay, so display on a new page. Okay, fine. So let me just make here text also, display on new page. Okay, so let me just remove this event handler so that when I double click again, a new event will be generated. So instead of the warning or success or danger, let me just take some another color. Let me just take here primary. Okay, so these are actually Bootstrap styles, so you should be able to understand. If you know Bootstrap, then you'll be able to understand all these built-in CSS classes. Fine. So let me just go back to design. You may see now a new button has come here, now display on a new page. When I'm double clicking on this button, now you'll be able to we should be able to see the output on a new page. Okay, so the new page, let's imagine response dot redirect, I'll be using to redirect to some another page. So new page, let's say result page, result dot aspx page, just imagine. Okay, so right now this page is not available, so let me go back and let me just right click on my application and let me create a new folder, or within the same root folder I can have another web form. So I can say over here, let's say result dot aspx. So this will going to add a new page, result dot aspx. So I want to see result over here. So I don't do much kind of designing over here. I'll simply do one thing, whatever label we have here to display this result. So this LBL result, can you see this? I'll just simply copy over here. I'll just bring it here now. Okay, on the design like this. Fine, everybody. So let me just do one thing. Let me whatever Bootstrap styles we have applied over here, so we can get that styles also, so that if you want to see that in that color and in that font and all those kind of features if you want. Okay, so you can just simply copy these two lines from here, the script as well as your link tag, so that you may see the result over here. Fine. So let me go back to source and let me just paste it here now. Now you may see this is okay here. So it's actually added just because there was no style access by default, that's why it's got added. Now there is no problem. Now this text info will be taken from here, from Bootstrap styles. Okay, so this is a result page. Fine. So on this result page, as soon as this page will be loaded, I should be able to see the result over here. Fine. Okay, I'll just apply some kind of style. I just wanted to see some kind of font family. Let me just say some another font. Let me just say tribute. Okay, let me just go back to my source, this code view, code window. Let me press F11, F7, and let me just go to code window and let me just type here a string variable. Let's say, for example, string result. So I want the result should be displayed over here. So the result will be this is the result, right? So this I want, correct? Let me copy this from here and let me just go back. Simply I can do one thing, I can do this directly from here. Okay, because I have given same name here also, so that will not give you any kind of problem. Can you see here, in case of result also, in case of this label, again same name, that's why I'm not changing any kind of namings. Okay, so let me just build this solution now together. Now let's do one thing. Let me just go back to your initial page. So it is still building now. That is your simple interest.aspx page. So you'll be entering some inputs over here. So when you click on this page, this button, it should give you it should do calculation and it should display result here. That is for view state. And if you wanted to display on a new page, whether it will going to do that job or not, let's understand with the help of view state now. Okay, so let's see whether it is successfully built now. So let me just reload this entire page. Already my server is running here, you can see this. Okay, so directly I can refresh from here. So it's got reloaded now. Let me enter some input now. 10,000 to calculate here. Done. Yes, it's nothing but view state. Now I want to see the same result on the new page. Okay, So I have been to next page, but I'm not able to see the result. Why? Why? Because view state will maintain state per page. State stores data across pages. That is not possible in case of view state. And for that matter, we have another concept in case of client side technology that is called as query string. So query string stores data per page, stores data across pages. So that is source and destination kind of page, source and target kind of page. So it will going to maintain data where, in case of it, data will get stored in case of query string where it stores in URL. You might have seen many of the times, okay, like whenever you type any kind of thing in case of Google search or Flipkart or Amazon search, whatever you search over here, right? Let me just say, for example, ASP.NET state management, something like this. Okay, like when I click on enter, this is nothing but post backer. Now you may see, can you see this some Q ampersand question mark? Can you see question mark in the URL? These are nothing but some query string parameters, and you may see some kind of values are there here. Can you see this? Q equal to whatever input you have given, and these all parameters are differentiated with ampersand symbol. That is called a substitution. That is called as your substitution variable, which is differentiating your two or more query parameters in your address bar, in your URL. To distinguish, we are using ampersand symbol. The plus indicates what? Space actually in your URL. So in this case, basically query string is used for search engine optimization purpose. I mean to say, instead of searching here, I can even search from here also. Instead of ASP, I can simply just say JSP. My entire page will get reloaded. Can you see this reloading with respect to now? JSP. Can you see this? Java. So you may see the search is now okay. There is even the .NET word I have not removed. That's what is actually coming with .NET. Now you may see the proper output. So it is with JSP only. Can you see this? Java. So this is how it is actually maintaining your state. Okay, in case of your server, I mean in case of your client side. So client side, if you want to do some kind of search engine optimization, so I can make use of what? Query string. So in this case, it is not happening with the help of view state. Why? Because view state is not actually maintaining data across pages. It is maintaining only per page. As soon as you close your browser, as soon as you move from one page to another page, data will be automatically lost. So to retain the data in another page, so we have to use query string. So let me do one thing. Let me go back to your simple interest page, and here whatever data you have sending it here. So this data, that is LBL result.txt, which we are displaying over here, or display same thing on the another page, that is view state data. So this data you have to send in address bar by using question mark. So after question mark, whatever you write, that becomes nothing but query string. So let me just say a variable name as result. It can be any user friendly name. It again works on key value pair, and the plus I'm using to concatenate so that I can get this result on a new page. So when you move on to next page, you'll be automatically redirected to this page with this query string parameter which is holding the result. So on the another page, that is result.aspx page, I'll get the result from address bar. So this won't be view state. Now this will be your query string. So in this case, what I'll do, so it's like a requested page, request.query string, and what is the key name? Key name is nothing but your result you have given there, right? So here you have given result as the key name. So the same result as the key name, the same name you have to write it here now. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's rebuild it. Let's recheck it now, whether it works or not. After doing this modification, whether it brings that result on the new page or not, let's understand that now. So let's reload your entire page. Let me go back to my first page, that is simple interest. So I'm loading for the first time. This is fresh load. Now I'm giving some inputs. 10,000. Okay, it is nothing but post back. This is doing the job of view state. It is able to get the result from one between the post backs, and I want result on the new page now. The same result, that is this simple interest is 400. After clicking on this button now you will be able to see that result. Can you see here? I can see the result which is coming through your URL. But the problem with this, anybody can go and modify this, and you'll be able to see that particular change over here. So sometimes it is not even recommended, because people can go and see what you are sending it to, as well as people can easily modify and they may hack your data. That's the reason at client side another concept got introduced, something called as cookie. So if you don't like in case of username and password, like for example if you are logging to facebook.com, so you have entered username, you don't want to enter password again and again, and you want to save your password in your browser. So whenever you open facebook.com, for example, let me just open and let me just show you. If I'm opening facebook, okay, .com, so let's see whether it will going to ask me to log in, or it will going to give me the home page of that Facebook. Let's see that. Okay, so you may see it is not giving me any kind of it's loading now. Let's see now. It is actually checking from the browser whether already I have entered my password, whether if I have stored that password. Can you see? It is not asking me to enter my credentials like username and password. It is directly giving me the home page of my Facebook. It is happening just because of cookies. So cookies are stored at client side. Cookies are nothing but a smallest part, a smallest unit which will be stored on inside the browser. So unless and until if you don't delete that, it will be retained inside your browser. It will going to have some kind of expiration time, so you can set that expiration time also. So if you set some expiration time, that becomes persistent cookie. If you don't set any expiration time, that becomes impersistent cookie, non-persistent cookie, you can say. Okay, persistent cookie is nothing but where you may set some kind of expiration time, and non-persistent cookie is nothing but you are not setting any kind of expiration time. Understanding what I'm telling you? Okay, so it stores information temporarily inside the browser. It's just a simple small size text file, can be changed depending on your requirements. It's user preferred and requires only few bytes or kbs of space for creating cookies. The points to be remembered for cookies are for your cookies are sometimes if you are storing your passwords inside your browser, and if you are only the single user for that system, then it is okay. Otherwise, if you are sharing that system with some other people, so people will be able to see what you have stored inside the browser. So it is not sometimes recommended to save your passwords inside the browser, and for that reason we have something called as session state management. Session, which is at server side management. Server side state management, it has introduced something called as session. So I can demonstrate right away cookie as well as session and application, but I'll just explain now. For time being, we'll do conceptually what is this, and then we're going to see, okay, in another session practically. So let me explain to you what is cookie. Cookie, just now we understood. Cookie stores data per page, okay, stores data across pages, yes, and where it gets stored on client machine inside the browser. And what is session? And session and application, these two are nothing but your server side techniques. Session stores data per page, stores data across pages, and where it gets stored on server machine and inside the browser again. Okay, server machine, browser. Understanding? So session is also stored like a cookie information inside the server machine. So sessions are the best examples in case of your shopping cart, in case of your Gmail, in case of your Facebook accounts, Twitter, all these are using sessions inside. So whatever post you do in case of Facebook, when you do log out, when you do login again, you may see that post again. So it is retaining that state where on server. Okay, so it has again some types of states. You may use in proc, you may use state server, you may use and you may use custom. So there are some different modes also are available for session state management. Okay, so session and application. Now the difference between session and application is that application also maintains stores data per page, stores data across pages, but the main difference is what see here: session on server, application also on server, but session for same browser. Nothing but if you have opened your Chrome browser and if you are storing something inside this browser, and if you open later on some Edge browser, and if you wanted to see whatever data you have logged in there, that you want to get it here, that is not possible here. So that can be possible only if it is, I mean, for example, say right now you may see home page of your facebook.com, right, in case of your Chrome. So if I'll go and type in case of my Edge browser same facebook.com, so it should give me directly logged in page of your facebook.com. But in this case this will not going to happen. Why? Because the passwords, the session data, it's got actually stored for browser only. So it's on session, so it's on user specific mode, it's at server side. So here it will going to ask me to again log in. So if you store inside application scope, so what would be the advantage? So can you see here it is asking me to log in now, but in this case it is not asking me to log in now. Even if I'll open a new browser, new Chrome instance, and if I'll type again facebook.com, you'll be able to see what logged in page of your facebook.com. It will not going to ask you to again re-log in, re-enter your credentials. Can you see this? So it is specific to your browser. If you want cross browser data sharing, so that is not possible with the help of your session. It is only possible with the help of your application scope. So I hope you have understood what I mean by application. Application is like public scope, session is like your private scope. Understanding, everybody? So we're going to stop here now. We're going to see in the next session, okay, how to implement cookies as well as session application practically. So we're going to stop over here. So thank you for watching and listening to me. Okay, hope we're going to meet in the next session. So thank you and have a good day. So let's stop here. Thank you.